Here we go. The tier listler is back? You bet your fucking bottom dollar. Okay, everybody say hi to YouTube. We're going sloppy mode. Okay, everybody, welcome. Normally I wouldn't do another tier list so quickly. Just because we did one probably about like a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. But there was a pretty significant balance patch between now and then. And my opinions on a couple of characters, notably this character, have changed a little bit. So we are going to reevaluate the tier list, considering the new balance patch, some of the changes that came through, including some of the like new opinions that we have going on, and yeah, so we're just doing like a classic style tier list. I remember some people were confused about the tier list names last time. Number 1, get fucked. Number 2, top tier, high tier minus, low tier. I don't know. So we're gonna go through every character, like I said, pretty standard stuff. So let's just hop right into it. We'll go in order. We always go in order, and I love that for us. I mean, Zetterburn. Does it take any explanation? This character got nerfed again. What exactly got changed? His down tilt got a little bit worse. There's a little bit of counterplay to like fire now. And one other thing got changed that is like so. Oh, and up tilts. Up tilt's weak angle got a little bit worse. Again, is it relevant? Kind of. Oh, dash attack got nerfed as well. Yeah, someone did point that out. Dash attack's probably the most relevant. Probably the most relevant nerf that he ended up getting. So, what did that change? Realistically, Zetterburn is still going to combo you a billion times. Realistically, down air and fair shine mix-ups are still crazy. What's really insane is down tilt on DIOA will still combo into fair at certain percents. That move's been nerfed like 4 times, and it still does the thing that they don't want it to do. It's actually wild. And I don't know why they aren't like testing it if that's what they want it to do. But down tilt will still combo into fair at kill percents. Even on DIOA at certain percents, and on DIN like especially. So down tilt's still very, very good move. Up tilt's still very, very good move. This character was not hit in a super significant way, and because we thought he was top tier before, I think he's still top tier. One of the nice things that did come with this change is down tilt is a little bit more lenient in terms of like surviving it, and being able to like whiff punish dash attack kind of rules. Like having more time to whiff punish dash attack, having more time to shield grab dash attack is really nice. So a little bit of like counterplay introduced for Zetterburn. Rano's a character who we will have to probably come back to and just see how we're feeling at the end of the list. Because Rano's an interesting character. If Rano only had to play against these characters, Rano's the best character in the game. Easily. Like, it's wild. But, unfortunately, Rano has to play against this character. And Rano has to play against this character, and this character, and this character, and this character. And all of those characters are a decent bit more common than the matchups that Rano wins. I think Rano is a very volatile character because, like I said, if he plays these matchups, he's the best character in the game, and it's not close. Um, but these characters aren't particularly common, one, and two, he has some matchups that don't feel quite so good to play. So I'm gonna put him here for now. I think Rano has a ton of strengths, has a lot of like particular strengths in terms of his combo game is very strong. And his zoning game is very strong. He's very good on platforms. But Rano gets juggled really heavily, and it's pretty easy to contest Rano off stage. I know some people are like, Rano's recovery is really, really good. And sadly, those people are wrong. Rano's recovery is like, again, it's rivals too good. But it's not like insane. I would say it's probably lower half of the cast, maybe. It would be around that like 50% mark. So it's definitely exploitable. There's certain things you can do about Rano, and if you're playing one of the like tippy top tiers, like these fellas, and like some of these fellas, Rano struggles against those characters. So I think he's the gatekeeper for top tier, especially because of how hard he wins against some of the worst characters in the game. But I don't think he's the best. Okay, Raster. Raster's an interesting character because he did get a buff this last patch. He got a buff insofar as I think it's the second hit of his down air is now -2 instead of -8, which actually gives Raster a safe aerial to use on shield. Unfortunately, like it's a particular hit of the down air, and it's not the whole thing. So it's not like you can just whip it out and it's like the easiest thing of all time. But it does give him something to do on shield at low percents, which up until now he just didn't have. The other aspect of it is there's a couple Raster mains that are doing quite well right now, particularly the one to look out for is Torna, who has been doing very, very well if Dakpo ever comes back, if Mr. R decides to play again. So there are Rasters doing well and finding ways to make the character work. And so he's not bad by any means. And I would go as far to say, and I want to say this early on in the video, I don't think any character in this game is like bad. I think unfortunately, not unfortunately, nobody's like bad. Mr. R is running the Mexico scene? Okay, well, that's good to know. Raven King has also been doing well. So there are Rasters playing and there are Rasters doing well. I think Raster's a really big glass cannon in terms of, like, he dies ridiculously early in a game where characters are already killing you really early. And he also can kill you really early. So I think he has a level of volatility that some of these other characters don't have. But if you're able to like tap in and play well and kind of better player people, that volatility shifts into your favor and the character ends up doing pretty well. So I'm not too mad about Raster. I think he's fine where he is. I think he gets a little bit more toxic if you make him much better. But he is a little bit weaker just because some of the better characters don't have that volatility. Craig is still Craig. And he's always going to be Craig. You know what I mean? The character just does good things. That's just how it is. Back air is just like probably the best move in the game. It's competing for it at the very least. I think any character in the game would just be just pleased as a pickle to have Craig back air. Rock, still an insanely good tool. His edge guarding is still insanely good. Down B, still insanely good. Forward air, dash attack, all of these things are still insanely good. That being said, all of that, it still exists, but it doesn't exist in the same way that it did before. Right? You can't just like auto combo people. You can't just up air 900 times in a row, although you can still get 2 or 3. His recovery is not like unstoppably good, and dash attack just doesn't just like lead to the world. So Crag has to play a little bit now, and I think it makes him a little bit worse. But the character is still very strong, and his other characters are like also nerfed around him. He figures out ways to navigate them. So I think Crag is still very good. Fleet is an interesting one because I had her very high on the last tier list. And I would be hard pressed not to have her very high on this one just because she didn't get any changes. Some characters got nerfed, but a lot of characters got nerfed around her instead of her. And she already has good matchups against a ton of relevant characters. And so the fact that she's still strong off stage, every new character that comes out is having trouble off stage. She's able to push advantage really hard. She has a really nice neutral. She's super safe. I think Fleet has a lot going for her right now. Her Nair is still crazy. I think Fleet has an argument, at the very least, for being the best character in the game. I think she's harder than these two characters. And I actually think Fleet is less frustrating than these two characters. And I know that might be controversial. But to get the most value out of Fleet, you do have to kind of know what you're doing. Right? You do have to know how to go off stage. You do have to like actually interact in neutral to a degree, right? She can't just like purely zone you. You do have to get baits out with the float. You do have to like hit combos, make reads, have conversions online, sometimes be able to edge cancel with up B. She has a lot that you have to master to make her this good. And so I think it's less wildly frustrating to get hit with. Because it feels like she has to play the game with you and she's just good at it. So I would have her up here. That's a long-winded way of saying that. But yeah. Maple's an interesting character because Maple got a pretty significant buff. And the pretty significant buff is her dash attack now works at high percents. I think once you get past, I think they said it was something like 54%. You now have to crouch cancel the second hit of her dash attack, which only leaves her -1 instead of like -1 billion. So she doesn't get punished for hitting dash attack every time anymore. And the dash attack change in knockback also gives her more combo opportunities. It's a character that's very strong at going off stage. I think the new change is very, very nice for Maple. And I think it brings Maple up to feeling competitive with a lot of the characters in the game. I think the difficulty is, again, I'm really torn on this. And maybe we'll come back to it because I could see her being up here. I could see her being up here. Because, yeah, she's really fast. She has decent combos, but her combos aren't that much better than anyone else's. I think where Maple really shines is off stage and being able to like how deep she can dip off stage, but there's always like risk to that. I also think like Maple's approach game isn't the best ever. Like coming in with Nair or coming in with like forward tilts are safe, but they don't exactly lead to like the most value. And I think the other thing is there's no people playing Maple. Like nobody plays this character. Like there's Tashi, and then who else plays Maple? Elki's dropped her for Lorena, and Plup dropped her for anyone else. And so we have Rasters doing something. We don't have Maples. And again, the Maples who are good do good stuff, but there's just no Maple players. Dude, Plup hates this character. And again, not to say that Plup is the like be all end all for if a character's good or not, but I think Maple, what actually ends up happening is a lot of her stuff seems really good, but it doesn't get the value a lot of other characters have. Um, and I think a lot of the time it leaves you having to either guess what your opponent is going to do to try and get some degree of reward, which doesn't feel good, or just leaves you playing like a tit for tat poke game for forever. Um, yeah. So I think this character has room for improvement. I will say that, like, for the sake of consistency, a lot of the time, the way I approach tier lists is with a combination of contextualizing like how the results have been for the character with how um with just what I believe about them, right? I think there's a way to navigate both of those things at the same time. And so I think Maple has potential to be better than this. That being said, I think she's a high skill expression character, and I think that's to a degree proven by the amount of people that have tried and cannot play her at a high level. And also, I think she just ends up being harder, and the results are really really bad. Like, I'm being really genuine with you. Um, the results are like quite bad. And so maybe we see like a Sonic type resurgence where this character goes up here if we get the right person playing the character. And they can just like camp everyone out and it's really consistent, then maybe we reevaluate. But no one's doing that. And I don't want to like theory push everything. So I think right now this is where Maple is. Um, I can see her going up here. I can see her going up here even, but I think um, that's where we're gonna put her for now. That being said, like I said before, these characters are not bad. These characters can win majors. So relax a little bit. At the very least, these characters can win majors. um. Okay, we move on. This character's pretty good. This character's pretty good. This character's pretty good. um. Claren got some again relevant nerfs in the patch. Don't get me wrong. Claren got plenty of nerfs in the patch. And plenty of nerfs that are felt. They feel relevant. They get rid of some of the more annoying things that she could do. It makes her easier to approach in neutral. It makes her a little less crazy. I think she got nerfed harder than Zetterbird did. Is she worse than Crag? Maybe. But I don't know. I'm not going to put her worse than Crag. So here we go. What does this character do? I mean, she still has arguably the best combo game in the game. If not up there with the very, very best, she still has the best dash dance in the game. She's still extremely strong standing on the platform, which are like the two biggest power positions in Rivals 2 right now. She's really good in both of those spots. She is very good off stage. She has a lot of opportunities to kill you early off stage from strong or weak hits. She can gimp you with back air. The problems she kind of faces now is she's bad out of shield, and some of the nerfs make some of her moves feel a little bit more committal, even in the mid range, which some of the faster characters might be able to exploit. That being said, Claren has nice matchups against other very common, very relevant characters, including this guy, and this guy. Claren's not too perturbed about any of those, which is nice. So I think she remains at the tippy top because of that, and I think she's also a character that has so many representatives, have so many mains that she continues to put results on the board. And she's going to continue putting results on the board. It's just like she's just good. She's just good enough to keep doing that. And Should the Claren mains keep pushing her? I think, again, she's a character with a high skill ceiling in terms of her combo game, and I think it's going to be something where people are going to continue to figure out how to push this character. Her one bad thing is out of shield options. She doesn't have any super reliable out of shield options other than grab, which her grab is really good. But I'm also not too mad about that, if I'm being honest. All right, Loxodon. That fella is good. And you know what? That fella might even be better than Rano. This character's fucking stupid, bro. In a game where everybody wants to camp you and wants to jump around and wants to frickety frugity frick, this motherfucker doesn't give a fuck about any of that. He jabs, he forward tilts, he up tilts, he down tilts, he has magma, he hits you at 30 and you fucking die. You fucking die, and then you DI dash attack wrong, and he extra kills you. He kills you twice. I can see him above. He's also very strong off stage. Locke's also got a couple nerfs in this patch. You can't spam up strong as easily, and down air's not quite as crazy. So there's some expectations there, but Lox does nice against Claren. Lox does like decent enough against Zetterburn. Lox does not do good against Rano. I'll give you that. I think Lox does nice against Crag. And Lox does nice against all these fellas too. So it's a difficult position because he does have some matchups that end up being really, really bad. But I think Loxodon commands a lot of space. I think Loxodon has very strong confirms, and I think a lot of times Loxodon simplifies a game state in a way that other characters don't, and he's super frustrating to play against as a result of that. I'm going to put him here because I think his matchups, his good matchups, aren't as swingy as Rano's. I think Rano's gets some freebies, whereas I don't think Lox gets those in the same way. But I think Loxodon's matchup spread is probably better overall. So if you're in a tournament of only top tiers, like let's say you're in a tournament of only these 4 characters, Loxodon's better than Rano. If you're in a tournament of every character, Rano's probably a little bit better. So it depends which characters you think you're going to see. And Loxodon's results are probably better than Rano's. I would say they're definitely better than Rano's. Although the Ranos are catching up in terms of that. So something to keep in mind. Loxodon, a character that's going to keep showing up in top 16s, top 32s. He's a very good character. Yeah, I'm putting him over Rano. I actually convinced myself in explaining why I have Loxodon here. I convinced myself to put him higher. So he's going up there. Let's move on. Okay, Orcane. Guys, right now, there's an Orcane psyop going on right now on Twitter. There's a fucking Orcane psyop where Zetter mains and Fleet mains and Crag mains and Claren mains are trying to gaslight you into believing that this is the best character in the game. And it's a fucking psyop. It's a fucking psyop. It's not true. It's not even a little true. And you need to be able to think for yourself. This character is good, but he's not that fucking good, bro. He's not that fucking good. He's not even... I don't even think he's... At most you put him right here. At most. He is really solid. Again, don't get me wrong. He's just not this solid. He's not this good. Orcane has weaknesses. Yes. Some of his things are punishable if you're ready for them. You can edgeguard Arcane. He doesn't always have bubbles down. It's just disingenuous. Not everything he does is safe, right? His combo game is not that impressive. We need to get over this. Dom, don't get me started. Don't get me started. For those who want context, yesterday Dom played against Jupiter after the chat was telling me how good Arcane is. And then Dom hit Jupiter with Zetterburn down tilt fair and it killed at 120 on DIY. And you're trying to tell me right to my face. Right to my fucking face. Okay. Bubbles are annoying. Arcane fair is annoying. The smash attacks that just gets ripped and come out of nowhere are annoying. His character's annoying. Don't get me wrong. But he does not do anything that these characters don't do. I am 1,000 times happier to run into an Arcane than I am a Lox or a Rano. I would way rather play Arcane. Like, are you kidding me? So, he also loses to fucking Zetterburn. He loses to Claren. I'm going to have him up here because against, like, Crag and Lox, and even Rano to a degree, and the new characters, Arcane's offstage game is so strong that it's really hard for those characters to deal with. If he's able to find you in the correct position. But this character is not the best character in the game. And I could even be tempted to put him here. I could be tempted. But we're going to put him here for now. But dude, so help me God. So help me God. I could put him right here. Shit. We're going to see. We'll come back to that. Lemon Cake, you're also biased. Forest Burn. This character's very strong right now. I think we're gonna have to figure out where to put him because I think he could range from here. He could range from here to here. I think he's in this like 1 to 5 range, and I think it depends on what you like value as a character. I think the fact that we see Cake switching to Fleet for certain matchups probably indicates that Forest Burn's not quite as good as maybe we think. And like Forest Burn does have a lot of great stuff. Don't get me wrong. He has dash tag. He's got down tilt. Fair is really good. Back air is obviously fucking insane. Down air is obviously fucking insane. And smoke can be really frustrating to deal with. But this character, to a degree, has to camp you. And his results outside of Cake Assault are really bad. And even with Cake Assault, his results are getting worse. And his down tilt got nerfed in the latest patch. So I think Forest Burn's still a top tier character. He's still very, very good. But I think I would have him around here. Just because I think, unfortunately, a lot of these characters, Forest Burn really needs the opponent to approach you, and these characters don't need that as much. And I think Forest Burn has trouble doing that against these characters. So I like him here. Like I said, I could see him as high as first. I could see him as low as here, depending on what you value. This might be the middle ground that feels a little bit more reasonable, but I think I'm going to have him there. Again, his results are really bad. And if we're saying that this is something that we care about, we have to stay consistent. His results suck. Other than Cake Assault. I know also Plup is playing a little bit of Forest Burn right now. But Plup also won majors with this character. So I take that with a grain of salt as well. If I'm being really honest with you. Zeus is okay. Is Zeus actually playing fours? Because the last I saw that Zeus was playing Crag still. Zeus is not playing fours. Come on now. Come on now. You know what? Okay. I'm gonna save myself a little bit of grief, okay? Because if Plup plays Forsburn at Evo and Cake sees Forsburn at Evo, we're gonna have 2 Forsburns in top 8, and I don't want to be the person who I don't want to be the person who fucking put Forsburn here and then there's 2 of them in top 3. Okay? I don't want to be that person. So we're putting them here. Fuck you. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to get clipped. We're putting them here. That feels good. Edalus, I would have up here. I think Edalus is a very classic, like, the Gaslightler. I think Edalus is one of those characters that, again, has a lot of volatile matchups. He has some matchups that he wins, in my opinion, harder than any other character in the game. He's very feast or famine, where he either ruins your day and kills you at 20, or he gets edge guarded for 900 years and never gets back to the stage. So I think he's probably clearly worse than these 2 characters in terms of consistency. But he has some difficulty. He has some difficulty, especially against some of the top tiers, particularly this character. Really invalidates Edalus. So he has a little bit of trouble. Can have a little bit of trouble getting in. He does have to take risks at the end of the day. But his advantage state is so good, and if you're able to capitalize on that and put people in kind of checkmate situations, this character is very, very strong. It's just a matter of actually getting him there. And I need Animal and Full Stream and the other Edalus players to start going to some tournaments again, so that we can talk about the results, because right now the Edalus players aren't even like attending, which might be indicative of something. But because of that, I can't put him higher. I really can't. Okay. People are going to get mad at me for this. This character's not good right now. And everybody has PTSD. Everybody has PTSD. Because this character used to be up here. And everybody is like, oh, Olympia! Oh! She was so good. She got nerfed. She must still be good because these characters got nerfed and it didn't matter. This character doesn't do anything. Maybe she's above Maple. I don't even think that. I don't even think that. I have to be true to myself. She doesn't do anything. She's really slow now. Her base stats got nerfed. Her down tilt doesn't combo as well. It's not as safe. Up tilt, not as much of a disjoint. Her recovery is not as strong. You can't side V from far out anymore. She gets edge guarded. She gets custom comboed by every character in the game. She gets tech chased by every character in the game. She gets edge guarded by every character in the game. Gem has been nerfed 1,000 times to the point of like not even being that good. And her combo game, while still good, don't get me wrong, her combo game is good. It's not as good as Zetterburns. It's not as good as Clarence. It's not as good as Arcanes. It's not as good as Forsburns. It's not as good as Ronos. It's not as good as Edalus's. Like, she doesn't do anything anymore. And I made a tweet about this that I wish. Is it better than Maple or Raster? It's worse than Raster's combo game. Like, it's actually insane. And her neutral is worse than Maple's. So it's like, dude. She's just not that good anymore. And she's hard. I think that's like the combination of it now. She's hard. She has super unforgiving neutral and mechanics. If you get hit, it feels horrendous. And then if you're actually good at her, the reward is less than almost everyone else in the game. She's really hard at this point, and she just gets owned by everyone who can tech chase, and at this point everyone can tech chase. I don't think always hard. Player for 2 seconds on ranked and tell me how much fun you're having. Like and again, I still think she can win a major. Every character in here could win a major. But this character is a shell of what she used to do. It is a shell. It's not nearly as good. She's hard to win with at this point. That being said, I made a tweet the other day about how I actually wish that they had not nerfed Olympia. And I'll tell you why. Olympia was broken, right? Olympia was, by all accounts, too good when she came out. Then she got a round of nerfs. And then Beastly won Genesis using her as a secondary, and Sandstorm was getting top 8s pretty consistently. I would say at that point she was probably around here. Maybe here. Or here. She was still up here. And unfortunately, this was fine. She wasn't seeing that much success, but when she was, the Olympia players tried to approach you because they had to. The Olympia players were exciting to watch. The character was fun to play. And she was cool. Like, and because they nerfed all of her relevant buttons, like every tilt got nerfed and her up air got nerfed like a billion times. Her speed got nerfed in multiple aspects. Her recovery got nerfed. She's another character that has to camp now. She's another character that has to run away. Whereas before, when she was up here, Olympia was the only character in the game that could approach. She was the only character in the game that was rewarded for approaching. Approaching with Olympia had value more than it has for any other character in this game ever. And they took that away. And now she's down here and she's another camper again. She's just another camper. Because they made her one, and that sucks. So the thesis of this, I don't think Olympia is very good. One, because I think she's hard and I think her reward is low. But two, I actually think Olympia should have stayed here. And some people are going to hate that. Some people are really going to hate that, but I think Olympia should have stayed up here. Would you rather watch Stango play Olympia? And would you rather watch Beastly play Olympia? And would you rather watch Sandstorm play Olympia? Or would you rather watch Beastly's camping fucking Zetterburn and Stango's fucking shit-ass Loxodon? And fucking Sandstorm's Galvin. Like, what are we doing? Is that what you'd rather watch, man? I wouldn't. Okay, we're moving on. I miss Olympia. I'll say it. I miss Olympia. Olympia is not the worst character in the game. Relax. Relax. This character is good. There's not much to say about this. Again, another character that can win a major. Absa has a lot of particular strengths, right? This character is quite strong at this point. Wave dash is still good. She still has solid neutral, especially forward tilt is still just a busted move. Her combo game's insane. She has a lot of pressure off stage. She can edge guard well. She's hard. She's harder than pretty much all of these characters. And that means that mastery is going to keep some people out. It's going to mean we don't see as many Absa mains as we see the other characters, but this character's ceiling is very high. And right now, Ant is competing for like top 5 player in the world, if not higher. And it's just owning people with this character. So I think there's a lot of room for this character to grow. I think Abs is cool. I don't mind playing against her at all. I don't really perceive her as having too much that's unfair, but maybe you disagree. She has good buttons. She feels good to use. I actually really like where Abza is in terms of balance. Yeah, and if you're losing to like round of loss, she beats both of these characters. Like pretty handily. She just loses to a lot of these ones pretty handily. So I like Absa a lot. I think she's quite good. I would love to see more people pick up Absa and kind of show what they got with that character. I think Absa's good. Galvin is a tricky one because Galvin right now feels weak. You know, the side B nerf was pretty significant. That being said, if you watch my last tier list video, you saw that Galvin was like down here. And he got buffed pretty heavily in this patch. They made his side B connect again and kill the way that it used to. And they gave his fair a little bit more kill power, and they made his nair hit lower to the ground because it was missing characters like Maple. So that brings him out of here. It's just a matter of how good you think that is. And realistically, I would probably have him around here. I think he's better than Olympia. Again, hate me all you want, but watch a Galvin play against Olympia and watch her never recover after getting up thrown and DIing it wrong once. Like, watch her just get fucking owned on every tech chase. Like, you can DI it right and die? Yeah, he'll dash attack you and you'll still fucking explode. This character's solid. His combo game is one of the best in the game. I would say that's not really contestable. Magnet is a very strong neutral tool. But unfortunately, that's where the like niceties end. And his recovery is super exploitable at this point in the game. Almost every character in the game can exploit Galvin's recovery in like a unique and fucked up way. The character cannot reasonably approach, other than with Magnet, which opens you up to parry. So he doesn't have like a meaningful way to approach, so he just hopes that you approach him. But right now we're in a meta where nobody approaches ever, so Galvin just looks at you and gets sad. That being said, once Galvin hits you, he can just blow you the fuck up. So, do I think that's better than Maple? I think Galvin's results are going to be better than Maple's. And maybe that's what we say the differentiator is. There are going to be more Galvins doing better than the Maples. And I think Galvin is also less difficult to play than Maple and probably more fun. So, maybe I'll put him above Maple in this instance. But yeah, he does struggle with some stuff. And again, we could see Maple shoot up here in the future, but I don't know, man. She's just not worth playing right now. It feels like. Okay, moving on to Lorena. This is going to be the biggest departure from the last tier list, okay? Last tier list, I had Lorena rated as the worst character in the game. Because I had not played her in a little bit. And the only Lorena I had played against was Corn Cycle, who is just better than me. So it's hard to judge how good the character is based on that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't play against Lorenas often. When I do play against Lorenas, I'm actually beating them most of the time. And the one Lorena I lose to would beat me with almost anyone. So, like, you kind of have to take the good with the bad on that one, if that makes sense. That being said, I have since this happened gotten almost to Ethereum with Lorena. We're going to get there before the end of the season. put a ton of time in with the character, talk to some other Lorena mains about it, continuing to check in on like Lorena's results at tournaments, which are getting pretty good. Especially if you're considering like Cheesy, Corn Cycle, Elkies is playing Lorena. That's a lot of heavy hitters on this character at this point, so she's going to be seeing representation. She's strong. How strong is the question. I would have her around here. I don't think she's better than Rano. I don't think she's better than Loxodont. I think my question is she better than Absa or not? Because one of the difficult things is I think Absa has a higher ceiling, right? I think Absa is more likely to win a tournament than Lorena, but I think Lorena is more likely to get top 32 than Absa. As much as that sounds like a fucked up way of thinking about it, that's how I feel about it. I think it's easier to get top 32 by just picking up Lorena. But I think when you get to like that top tippy top skill level, Absa is better. So I'm gonna have Absa above Lorena. I also think Lorena has a couple matchups that are really hard, particularly this fucker. This matchup's no fun. And this matchup's no fun. And this matchup's no fun also. And this matchup, if I'm being honest. But Lorena does really well against this fella. Lorena does pretty good against... I wouldn't say that good against that fella. Lorena does pretty good against this fella, this fella, this fella, okay against this fella, great against this fella, amazing against this fella. But she has a couple characters that she just like auto loses to. Especially like Rano just fucks her. It's so bad. It's so bad. And I think Craig is another hard matchup for her as well. So this character is very strong. Lorena destroys Olympia. Might be her best matchup. It's so bad. It might be the worst matchup in the game. I actually agree with you on this one. I think Lorena takes Olympia and just spanks her. Like, it's so bad. That being said, okay, aside from all of that, nobody plays Olympia right now, so that doesn't even matter. This character is going to get results. And we could, based on what the results end up looking like, we could end up pushing her up to here if we felt like it. She's strong. She feels strong right now. She feels very good. I think she's in a great spot balance-wise. Again, I think you could make the argument that she's as high as here. And I wouldn't even be mad. I'm going to put her here just because that's where my heart says. But like I said, we're going to have to keep an eye out on what the results look like. Lorena's combo game is in the same tier as Edelis's. It's ridiculously good. Lorena's edge guarding is just a tiny bit worse than Galvin's, which is wild. Like, her edge guarding is stupid strong. Her ledge presence is stupid strong. Beastly's not going to play Lorena. Let's be so fucking for real. Let's be so for real. Beastly is not going to play Lorena. I mean, I was there when Beastly got his Lorena to Grandmaster. I was there, but Beastly's not delusional enough. I could see him playing it in like against Claren. I could see him pulling it out as a secondary, but there's no way he plays solo Lorena at this point. That would be nutty. That being said, like you mentioned, if Corn Cycle does very well, if Cheesy does very well, if Elkies does very well, There's a conversation to move this character up. But right now, I don't think any of them are doing well enough that it's outside the expectations of like what all of these other characters are doing and what we expect to see from those characters. So again, keep in mind, I think Lorraine is very strong. She has a lot of things she's really good at right now. I could see her moving up to here or even here in like the craziest instance. I think you're right in that she'll have a lot of top 64 representation. Like a lot. But I think that is going to fall off once you get to the harder parts of the bracket. And once you get to the later parts of the bracket and it's not so simple, or people have like labbed the matchup really thoroughly and start gimping her. Because if you play Lorena against somebody who is willing to go off stage, the match, like, it starts getting way worse. And for some reason, people don't attack this character off stage, and I don't know why. So, you know, expectations in that regard. But like I said, I could see her as high as here. I could see her as high as here. Even in the near future, I wouldn't be too mad about that. This is what I was struggling between, but I think Absa has a higher ceiling than Lorena does. But also, you know what? I'm going to keep her here. No, I'm not. Because I think Ant could win Evo, and I don't think Corn Cycle is going to win Evo. So sorry. I'll put her there. Absa will have lower representation. I mean, that's without a doubt. But also, Lorena's like a fan favorite character that's also really fun to play right now. Yeah. I mean, Lorena design-wise is a lot cooler than Absa, so I feel like there's also that aspect of it. Regardless, this is where we're gonna have her for now. As the meta evolves and we get into a couple more tournaments, you might see her move up. Just let me know. I'm not downplaying. Okay? She's good. She's hella good. And she can get stuff done, even if she has a couple of matchups that are really, really hard. This character fucking sucks, man. This character fucking sucks. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything. So, if you aren't in the know, Slade got a couple of buffs. Slade got a couple of buffs in the last patch. Pretty much all of them had to do with his kill power, which, to be fair, was very low. It was very, very low. Unfortunately, a 5% like kill boost to forward air and up B are not going to make like a significant difference on what this character is trying to do. And they also didn't buff his up strong. The other thing that they tried to do was to make side B useful. But side B2 still doesn't break floor hug until like 90%. And side B1 never breaks floor hug at any relevant percent. So the counterplay to side B is still all completely intact. Slade is also, like we said, the slowest character in the game. And he feels like it, right? He doesn't have a meaningful way to approach. And right now, Slade is getting into this awful gameplay loop where people will camp Slade. And so then he has to spend money to try and hit them with an item. But then, because he spent money, he never gets wing. And then he can never approach because he had to spend money because people were camping him. And then he just never does anything. It's just really bad. It's really, really bad. The other aspect is like they have said a lot of times, like, you know, items are strong and you should use item movement and stuff like that. Which is true, right? You should do that. Right now, the item grab box on every character doing a wave dash is so fucking huge that because everyone is just plat camping and just wave landing and dropping through platforms and wave landing and wave dashing and all that shit, everyone is just accidentally catching items all the time. And unfortunate truth for Slade is every character in the game is better with items than he is. Every single character in the game is better with items than Slade. And so if they catch your item, you now have to contend with that. And again, people are talking about like which Slades are doing well. I am still the highest elo Slade. My Slade has been beating people in Masters still. And the max elo I got to with Slade, I think, was 1600. I got to 1600 with Slade before I gave up on it, which is significantly higher than anyone else who's not named Plup. Plup doesn't count, though. And so, again, I am still the best one in terms of like putting up results in ranked and being able to take wins off of people. And the way I play is pretending items don't exist until you get wing, and then you get to pick up the items. And even that is so fucking hard because you're just playing neutral over and over and over and over again. And anyone who camps you back is going to beat you. Every single character in the game, including fucking Olympia, can camp Slade. And so he's in a really weird spot right now where they're like, oh yeah, we want him to use items. We want him to like run around and try and use that as movement. And then people will try and engage with him because he's pulling items. And then he has really good tools to stop people from engaging with him. But unfortunately, what I guess they didn't anticipate is that, everyone was like, actually, Slade's items aren't that good. So if he pulls one, we're actually not that worried. Because he just loses money. There's a cost to pulling the item. It's not like he's Link and he's pulling free bombs and throwing free boomerangs. He's losing money, and then all you do is you just wave dash or dash attack and you pick up the fucking item. It's not good. It just needs to be good. It also takes him 35 frames to pull an item. It takes him 35 frames. And if you have Forsburn fucking doing this, and you have Claren fucking doing this, and you have Zetterburn fucking doing this, and Arcane, and every fucking character just doing this all over the fucking screen, and then you pull an item, and then you get fucking owned, and you die, because your recovery is also the worst recovery in the game. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. He's really bad right now. Is there anything he isn't the worst at? Yes. Yes. He is one of the better characters in the game at stopping people from jumping at him. Slade has a lot of great tools for stopping people from jumping at him. He also has what I would say is pretty solid edge guarding. He's able to use chest, weak nair, reverse hit up B. He has good edge guarding, and he has, again, I would say in the upper, probably 3 characters in the game at stopping people from jumping in. And he also has very good out of shield. He has very, very good out of shield with nair, up B, all of that stuff. So that's 3 things he's really good at. Unfortunately, let's consider when you get to do those 3 things. Okay, I want to anti-air someone. That means they have to jump at me. Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone jump at you at any time when they could just dash dance and wave land on platforms and you're not fast enough to stop them? Why would they ever jump at you? Okay, if they hit your shield. Unfortunately, there's so many aerials in this game that are fucking -2 that even this is not as good as it could be. But the other part of it is, if you space moves, his stuff out of shield doesn't hit, and most characters at low percents are looking for grabs, which means you don't get out of shield. Okay. And then off stage, you have to hit somebody. And how are you fucking trying to do that? Well, then you have to take a guess. So the things that he is good at, he's quite good at. But there's situations that he's not good at putting himself in. And it's things that he's not good at finding, and it ends up leaving him super, super lackluster feeling. Um, yeah, that's my feelings about Slade. I've gone into it a couple times about how I would fix the character. I think if you gave him a run speed buff, make him as fast as Fleet. If you make Slade the exact same speed as Fleet, he's here. If you make him the same speed as Fleet, he's right here. Dude, it's wild. Same speed as Fleet, he's right here. Might even be better than this. If you make it easier for him to get wing, or crazy idea, make him start with wing. Guys, it's wild, okay? One of the things I was thinking of for like a Slade buff was if you let him pick an upgrade at the start of the game. He could pick any upgrade and he just got it at the start of the game. If you make Slade start with wing, dude, he's here. I'm not even kidding. If you make him start with wing, he might be up here. Like, he gets so good. So fast. He gets so viable. Let him start with wing. Let him go. He'll be right here. Start with wing, he's like right here. He's still fucking slow as shit, but it's fine. If you let him start with wing. But instead, we're fucking here. And like I said, if you made him as fast as Fleet, he's here. He might even be here. So, that's the changes I want to see. It's like things you can do once. Because yeah, it just allows him to do more. I think Tether right now is also in a bad spot where buying Tether Grab often feels like a disadvantage because it makes your grab slower out of shield, and that's like the most relevant punish in like the entire game. So that really sucks. I think Tether is oftentimes more of a disadvantage than it is an advantage. So it's also something to consider. Okay. This is the tier list. I actually feel pretty good about this. I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, I can get behind all of this. It feels good to me. I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, I like that. It feels like all of this makes sense. All of it is pretty fair. I get like there could be some controversy up here. There can be some people disagreeing with some of this, but I think overall you're going to have a hard time disagreeing with like the basis of where we did this, especially given the explanations of like why we're putting certain characters where and why they're showing up. So I'm pretty happy with this. And we're probably going to call it there. Thank you very much to everyone who's watching this on YouTube, everyone who came through. We did stream this live on Twitch at twitch.tv/nurse. And if you like, comment, subscribe on the video, I will be very happy. I guess. Thank you.